All right. So, are you ready to dive into a topic that's pretty whimsical and also, I think, thought-provoking?
Hmm.
We're going to be talking about children with wings.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I have to admit, even I'm curious about this one.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept, isn't it? I mean, the image of a child with wings
Yeah.
really taps into something deep within us, I think.
Yeah, and that's what makes this deep dive so intriguing, I think. We're
Okay.
going to explore not just like the literal possibility or impossibility, you might say,
Right.
but also like all the symbolism
Yeah.
behind this whole
The
idea.
rich tapestry
Yeah, exactly.
from like ancient myths to modern anime.
Yeah,
We're going to uncover why this whole concept is so fascinating to us.
it's going to be good.
But before we really take flight,
Okay,
let's kind of ground ourselves in reality for a moment.
of course.
All
From like
right.
a purely biological standpoint.
Yeah.
The idea of humans just like sprouting wings is, well, let's just say it's highly improbable. Okay, so no chance of like a real life Peter Pan just like soaring through the skies then.
Our DNA just doesn't have the blueprint for those magnificent structures.
Oh, right.
I mean, think about it. Wings require like a complex interplay of bones
Mm-hmm.
and muscles and feathers or membranes.
Right.
It's like a whole intricate system that would require an extraordinary leap in evolution.
I see.
Yeah.
So even if like those stories of genetic mutations causing like wing-like growths were true,
Mm,
we're not talking about like functional wings, are we?
precisely.
Okay.
While certain genetic conditions can cause like unusual graiths or protrusions,
Hmm.
these are far from the majestic wings we tend to imagine.
Right.
And more often than not, those conditions are actually linked to health challenges,
Yeah.
which highlights the difference between reality and fantasy.
That's a good point. It's important to separate fact from fiction, even when that fiction is so captivating.
Hmm.
But here's what I find really intriguing. Despite like the lack of scientific evidence, the image of winged children persists across cultures and throughout history.
Hmm.
Why do you think we're so drawn to this concept?
I think it speaks to our innate yearning for transcendence,
Mm-hmm.
for something beyond the limitations of like our physical existence.
Right.
Wings symbolize freedom, connection to the divine,
Yeah.
the ability to soar above earthly concerns.
It's like we're hardwired to crave that feeling of flight,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just in our imaginations.
Absolutely.
So while real-life winged children might be a biological impossibility,
Yeah,
that symbolic power of the image is undeniable.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
And that symbolism is beautifully expressed in countless myths and legends,
Right.
which we'll explore now.
Okay, let's start with the ultimate symbol of love and desire,
Oh, yeah.
Cupid.
Yeah.
We all know that image of the chubby cherub with his bow and arrow,
Mm-hmm.
but what's often overlooked is like the deeper meaning behind this
Yeah,
figure.
Cupid embodies more than just romantic love.
Mm.
He represents passion, longing,
Mhm.
and those powerful forces that can make us feel truly alive.
Yeah.
He reminds us that love in all its forms can be both exhilarating and overwhelming,
Right.
capable of inspiring great joy and
Yeah.
inflicting deep pain.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that feeling of being completely smitten,
Uh-huh.
of losing yourself in the throes
Yeah.
of passion.
Yes.
It can definitely feel like an arrow straight to the heart.
Exactly. Cupid personifies that feeling,
Right.
reminding us that love can be a force beyond our control, a powerful energy that can both elevate and shatter us.
Right. And that duality, that mix of light and shadow,
Mm-hmm.
is what makes love so captivating, so
Yeah.
eternally relevant.
Precisely. Cupid's enduring presence in art and literature
Yeah.
speaks to our fascination with love's complexities,
Hmm.
its ability to shape our lives in profound and often unpredictable ways.
Speaking of powerful forces
Okay.
from passionate love, let's shift our focus to those celestial beings
Uh-huh.
who often embody protection and guidance,
Okay.
And-
Angels.
and their imagery often depicts them as children,
Mm.
particularly in religious art.
Angels are fascinating because their symbolism varies across cultures and religions, but generally they serve as a bridge between the earthly and the divine,
Right.
their wings, allowing them to traverse those realms with ease.
And their association with children is particularly interesting, isn't
Yes.
it? It adds a layer of innocence and purity to their image.
Absolutely.
Right.
The childlike depiction of angels reinforces their role as messengers of hope,
Mm-hmm.
comfort,
Yeah.
and divine love.
Right.
It suggests a connection to a realm untouched by earthly concerns,
Mm.
a place of pure, unadulterated goodness.
That sense of purity and protection is something that resonates deeply with many people,
Yeah.
especially in times of need.
Precisely, angels offer a sense of solace, the belief that even in the darkest of times we are not alone.
Right.
Their wings, in a sense, provide a symbolic shield, a reminder that there is a force watching over us,
Yeah.
guiding us through life's challenges.
That's a comforting thought. But of course, not all stories about winged children end happily ever after.
True.
Take, for example, the cautionary tale of Icarus.
Ah, Icarus.
Mm.
His story serves as a stark reminder that ambition unchecked by wisdom and humility can lead to devastating consequences.
Right.
His wings,
Yeah.
crafted from feathers and wax, allowed him to soar to extraordinary heights.
Right.
But his hubris ultimately led to his downfall.
It's a classic tale of overreaching,
Yeah.
of failing to recognize one's limitations. But what I find interesting is how Icarus' story continues to resonate with us today. It speaks to that universal human desire to push boundaries, to reach for the seemingly impossible.
Exactly. We all have aspirations, dreams that drive us forward.
Yeah.
But Icarus's tale cautions us to temper our ambitions with prudence, to recognize that even with wings, we must remain mindful of the dangers
Right.
that come with unrestrained ambition.
Icarus reminds us that true freedom lies not just in the ability to fly, but in the wisdom to guide our flight wisely,
Yes.
to stay grounded even as we soar towards our goals.
Precisely. It's a valuable lesson,
Right.
applicable in countless aspects of life.
Speaking of soaring,
Okay.
let's end this part of our journey on a more graceful note.
Right.
Tell us about the Apsaras.
Oh, the upstairs.
Those enchanting celestial beings
Yeah.
from Hindu and Buddhist traditions.
Imagine these ethereal beings, adorned with delicate wings, gliding through the heavens with unparalleled grace.
Wow.
They are associated with music, dance,
Okay.
and all things aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
They embody the very essence of beauty and artistic expression.
They sound absolutely captivating. Unlike the angels we discussed earlier, their imagery seems less focused on protection and more on like a celebration of beauty and the arts.
You're absolutely right. The Apsaras remind us that beauty exists not just in the physical world, but also in the celestial realms.
Yeah.
They represent the divine feminine, the creative force that inspires artists,
Right.
musicians, and dancers to express their innermost emotions and connect with a higher plane of existence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
So the Apsaras really paint a beautiful picture in my mind.
Yeah. It's like they embody the very essence of art and inspiration.
Yeah, and that beauty can inspire us to create, to like express ourselves in ways that transcend the ordinary.
Yeah.
But for this next part of our deep dive, let's move from the celestial realms to the world of imagination.
Okay.
Let's talk about winged children in fiction and fantasy.
Ah, a realm where imagination takes flight
Exactly.
and where winged children often play a pivotal role.
And I know exactly where we need to begin.
Yeah.
Neverland.
Oh, Neverland.
Let's talk about Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, the eternal boy who never grows up.
Right.
His ability to fly is central to his character, symbolizing his freedom from the constraints of adulthood
Right.
and responsibility.
Right. It's like his wings represent the very essence of childhood. That carefree spirit.
Yeah.
The ability to believe in magic and make believe. It's something we all long for even as adults.
Add a little spark of wonder and possibility.
Peter Pan embodies that universal desire to hold on to our childlike sense of adventure and imagination.
Right.
He reminds us that even as we navigate the complexities of adulthood, we can still find ways to nurture our inner child, to seek out moments of joy and wonder.
And those moments of wonder often lead us to embrace the unexpected.
Yeah.
Just like those mischievous fairies and pixies
Oh, the fairies.
we find in countless stories and folklore.
Yes. With their delicate wings and playful nature.
Yeah.
They embody the magic of the natural world,
Uh-huh.
the unpredictable forces that shape our lives.
I love how they represent that sense of whimsy
Yeah.
and enchantment.
It's like they're reminding us not to take life too seriously, to embrace the unexpected and find delight in the little things.
Exactly. They embody the power of belief, the idea that magic exists if we're open to seeing it.
Speaking of magic,
Oh, okay.
let's journey to a realm where wishes can be granted,
All right.
the world of winged genies and jinn.
These powerful beings,
Right.
often depicted with magnificent wings,
Yeah.
represent the allure of unlimited possibilities.
It makes me wonder,
Yeah,
what would you wish for if you encountered a winged genie?
that's a thought-provoking question.
I know.
Perhaps I'd wish for a deeper understanding of the universe,
Mm.
to unravel its mysteries and comprehend its vastness.
A noble wish indeed.
Thanks.
But before we get lost in the realm of infinite possibilities,
Okay.
let's touch on a couple of other categories of winged children
Yeah.
that frequently appear in art and storytelling.
Certainly.
Okay.
There are the cherubs,
Uh-huh.
often depicted as plump, rosy-cheeked babies with delicate wings.
They're often associated with divine love, aren't they?
Precisely. They embody innocence, purity,
Yeah.
and the unconditional love that transcends earthly boundaries.
Right. And then we have those countless anime and manga characters with wings,
Yeah.
from magical girls to powerful warriors.
Right.
Winged characters are a staple in these genres.
Yes, and their wings often signify extraordinary abilities,
Mhm.
be it magical powers, superhuman strength,
Right.
or connection to the supernatural.
It's like those wings give them the power to transcend the ordinary, to achieve feats that would be impossible for us mere mortals.
Exactly. And I think that's what ultimately draws us to the concept of children with wings,
Right.
whether it's in mythology, folklore, or fantasy.
It's that yearning for something beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
A desire to break free from limitations and soar to new heights.
Wings represent freedom,
Uh-huh.
transcendence,
Yeah.
and the limitless potential that resides within each of us.
It's a powerful image that speaks to our deepest desires and aspirations.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And now, having explored the realms of science, mythology, and fantasy,
Yeah.
I think it's time to bring this deep dive back to our listener.
Yes. Let's shift our focus from the external to the internal,
Okay.
from the stories we tell to the stories we live. So we've explored like the biological realities, and we've delved into those captivating myths and soared through like all those fantastical stories.
Yeah, we did.
But now I kind of want to bring this exploration back to you, our listener.
That's the crucial question, isn't it?
Right.
We've seen how wings can symbolize freedom,
yeah.
power,
Right.
love,
Right.
and even danger.
Right.
But the real magic happens
Mm.
when we kind of personalize these symbols,
Yeah.
when we explore what they represent in our own lives.
Exactly. It's not just about literal wings.
Right.
It's about those things that give us a sense of flight,
Yeah.
that lift us up and help us soar.
Absolutely.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Precisely. Think about all the figures we've discussed today.
Right.
Which ones resonated with you the most?
Yeah, was it?
Was it Cupid's passionate love?
Yeah. Or
The protective embrace of an angel?
the boundless freedom of Peter Pan?
Hmm.
Or maybe
Or perhaps the alluring beauty and grace of the Apsaras?
maybe it was even the cautionary tale of Icarus,
Right.
reminding us to stay grounded even as we reach for our dreams.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating to me is how these ancient myths and stories still hold so much power for us today.
It's incredible, isn't it? They tap into something universal,
Yeah.
something that transcends time and culture.
Uh-huh.
It's that human longing for connection,
Right.
for transcendence,
Hmm.
for something more than the everyday.
Yeah.
Whether we express it through art,
Right.
storytelling,
Yeah.
or our own personal beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
the desire to break free from limitations,
Hmm.
to fly in a metaphorical sense, that is just so deeply embedded in the human psyche.
It makes you wonder if that yearning just kind of manifests in different ways for each of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For some people, it might be a passion for travel,
Mm-hmm.
a thirst for adventure,
Right.
exploring new horizons, both like physically and intellectually.
Yeah.
For others, it might be a deep dive into creativity,
Right.
letting their imagination take flight through
Yeah.
art,
Yeah.
music, writing,
Yeah.
any other form of self-expression.
It could even be something as simple as that feeling you get when you're completely absorbed in a good book
Yeah.
or a favorite hobby.
Absolutely.
Those moments where you lose track of time,
Yeah.
where you feel a sense of flow
Right.
and connection to something bigger than yourself.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Those moments of pure joy and inspiration,
Yeah.
those are our wings, in a way.
Right.
They allow us to rise above the mundane,
Uh-huh.
to experience a taste of that transcendent flight.
Right. We all crave.
So, dear listener,
Mm.
as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we leave you with this final thought.
Mm.
What are your wings?
Yeah. What lifts you up?
Yeah. What inspires you?
What makes you feel truly alive?
Yeah.
What gives you that sense of soaring, of reaching beyond the everyday?
Embrace those things.
Yeah.
Nurture them.
Absolutely.
And let them carry you
Mm-hmm.
towards your own unique version of flight.
Because even though we may be bound by the laws of physics,
Right.
our spirits, our dreams, our imaginations,
Right.
those can soar to limitless heights.
Keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep wondering.
Absolutely.
And keep those wings flapping.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that.